I want to talk about overtraining and what the signs and symptoms are, so you can start spotting your signs and symptoms early on with your client or your boxer or even yourself, because it's worth really addressing these problems when they first start to rear their ugly head, because if you let it accumulate, it has a massive effect on your performance levels. You might be seeing that you're hitting plateaus with maybe fat loss, or you might be seeing, your client or boxer, they're not as strong, or they're not as enthusiastic, and they're not as strong as they usually are. And that could be through to many, many different things. One, it could be just that they're overtraining. Two, it could be they're not getting enough sleep and nutrition to sort of fuel the type of training that they're doing. They might not be having enough rest days, or you might not be registering enough rest days within their program. And rest is really important to allow your body to be able to get strong again, so you can come back and train even harder again. They might not be bothered to eat, they might have lost their appetite, they might have lost their enthusiasm for training. And these are all signs that you've got to watch out for. Why don't you want to train? Can't be bothered. That is a sign of overtraining. Especially that I'm not sleeping well. Why are you not sleeping well? Because their body is just trying to heal all the time, because you're constantly punishing the body through with training and training hard. And that's what you don't want to do, because the longevity of the boxer and longevity of your client, or longevity is yourself within your training, and also getting the best out of your training, whether it be getting stronger or fitter or sharper with your boxing. It's really important that you spot these signs. The things that you can do to help that is obviously watch all the time. You can see if there's any signs and symptoms appearing, but make sure that the rest days are scheduled into the weekly program. Make sure that the weight programs or the intensity programs that they're on with boxing changes with intensity and volume and frequency of their training. That needs to be changed and adapted all of the time, because if you're constantly training hard and intense every day, your body's going to break down. So change the intensity, change the frequency, and change the volume every 6 weeks. And if you feel that your client's really tired, change up the type of training that they're doing in that particular session. You should be able to see when your client's walking into the session, how do they actually feel? Do they look tired? Do they look enthusiastic? Is it an outside factor that's contributing to them being tired? Or is it the fact that they're just training too hard? Taking a holistic approach, it might be something that's affecting them on their outside world, in their domestic or social life, that's making them overtrain, because they're compensating for how they're feeling inside, and maybe they're just overtraining to make them feel good about themselves. These are things that you need to address. And it's also making sure that you get your client and your boxer to be honest with you as a coach. How are you actually feeling? How's your body feeling? It's important to listen to your body. You're in tune, or your client and boxer is in tune with what's happening. Get them to be honest with you. Don't say, right, we're going to do an easy session today if you're tired. Don't say that. If you see that they're overtrained, if you see that they're tired, you construct, as an expert, you construct that program, you construct that session to suit your client, so they're not overtraining. You don't have to tell them that you're going to ease up a little bit on them. So it's really important to look at overtraining and really make sure that it doesn't affect the way you program. You're under pressure from your client to really push them hard. Don't be under pressure to give an intense program if you feel that your client is tired. It will allow them to have that rest, to be able to come back stronger and fitter. And longevity, it'll suit you for your client relationship, and that is really important.